Hi, my name is Poeartistry. I am excited to welcome you to James Poeartistry Productions. You are tuning into an incredible experience known as Poeartistry Gold, where we delve into the art of commentary, storytelling and poetry. We aim to bring you inspiring and thought-provoking content.
This is a Poeartistry Gold moment by the author James Lynch. Hello, perceptive readers. Welcome to this Poeartistry Gold moment number 111. Have you ever heard the expression feast or famine? Feast or famine? How about another statement? A career student. Or how about this statement? Same sheet of paper. Well, we're going to talk about each statement in this moment. You know, in life, there are situations you run into, whether it's job and promotions, money. That's what I really want to emphasize. Where during even certain times of the year, persons may get way more of abundance of money than they did the rest of the year, prior months before the end of the year even. And the thing about it is they can tell you they didn't really do anything different. They were still working according towards their routine job or profession. But it just happens to be during this certain time, this quarter or what have you, all of a sudden, the money just poured in from these sources or that sources or what have you. And granted, the sources already had whatever it is that this person or business actually needed. With that being said, they may even struggle, you see, while they're in their famine stage. Yet, when their ship comes in, their big moment, their payday, their Christmas or what have you, then all of a sudden, it's very much a feast. In times past, it'll make you forget about the famine, and especially if you budget your funds correctly, etc. But that's a different subject altogether. But the expression still has come about for different reasons along in that same vein of thought, where persons would say, man, why can't I just have a balance? You see, why can't things that just work the way they're supposed to work, you get your benefits, your profit, etc., from, from what you already been doing. And yes, you'll have some other persons just say, well, because the world just doesn't work like that. And see, and then that just takes me into the next subject about the way the world works. And I got to tell you, higher education, which goes beyond, you see, high school often, is really the area where a lot of persons have found out more things about the world and how it functions. Remember, I don't want to discount the street knowledge at all, because it's still all a part of it, the street knowledge, ghetto life or what have you. But all the same, higher education has a tendency to teach you at least the paperwork and technical means and ways of things of actually getting what you want. Okay, have the knowledge what connects where, why, here and there, and if you're not connecting in this way or that way, even though it is simple, even though it should be logical that 2 + 2 = 4, when you go into the realm of all these higher education with symbolism and additional knowledge that's tacked on top of your major, you see, that in general, you still may say, I don't even need this. Why am I learning this? And then you come to find out sometimes those very items, those subjects that you didn't think you would need, you sometimes find out why you were given those subjects as well. Well, it's so many of those subjects, though. I mean, so many of them that you could still start from a young age and just keep going to school, going to school, going to school, go to school, and then you be a career student, but you're never able to really act on the information that you already have, the information that would already make you lucrative. Now, this situation happens sometimes because of the fact of exactly who you may be dealing with, uh, what your surrounding persons are, or what have you. Now, I know association has a lot to do with it, and there is a statement that I do know in many ways it applies. I tell you again, there are some people who are just really exceptions to the rule. But there's a statement about you show me your closest five friends or what have you, and I'll tell you who you are. Or your closest five people that you hang around, and I'll tell you who you are. And yet, let me tell you more and more, there are persons who have studied this sociological or sociology or whatever aspects of human interaction and behavior, that they're even finding out more and more that yeah, no, there's even exception to the rule in these cases where yeah, you can have five people together, but you still may have one person in that group that still, you can't really say, okay, you got these other ones right here that all of them enjoy football. Okay, say that for instance, you see, to make it just light and something that you can easily identify with. And yet, uh, all five of them may go to games, etc., etc., may even root. But then you may even find out that, oh, it was one person in the group that really just went along. I don't want to say went along to get along, but still went along because this was something that the group still enjoyed all the same. But when it really came to that aspect of this sport or whatever was going on, they literally wasn't on the same sheet of music, but the other four really didn't even realize it. You see, because they didn't even ask. Uh, I guarantee you, in some of those cases, persons were the one person was even hinting at what they were saying, what they liked, what they wanted to do in this way or that way, what have you. But it just I was gonna say went in one ear and went out the other, but sometimes it just doesn't even reach the ears. Period. I'm just telling you that's the way it works sometimes, and that's why I'm telling you about as far as the same sheet of music uh, or same page of understanding that no, you can still even have uh, a core group of people, and it doesn't mean that they all going to like the same things, and it doesn't mean that you can still see that same group do this one activity, and you can blanketly say that yeah, they like this, they like it, because it's not always the case. So what I want to mention in closing, uh, as a just as a point of reference in this Poeartistry goal is keep in mind that education is supposed to give you what you need to be a very productive person. I said productive citizen, um, able to not only make a living, but to make more of than just scraping every dime and nickel that you can find to actually live. You should be able to enjoy life. Also, the other reference point is with whoever you're dealing with, um, you may be able to have at least some amicable relationship with the person if they truly listen when you're telling them this is what I'm doing, or this is my goal, or what have you. And I'm not telling you that you have to, express every type of secret recipe or ingredient for whatever your stew is. No, you don't have to do that. But you're still taking the time to write on, develop that same page, so to speak. And so when you see, sometimes people call them even red flags that, oh, oh, so you mean even though I'm going this way, you really don't like this item or that item? Okay, I won't expect it from you. So, what I'm saying at the very least, people should be able to get a clear answer for one another with integrity. Uh, no BS, no mixing it around in this way or that way, because I gave you a series one time called Apples and Oranges series, and I mentioned in there about how even I was talking about an illustration of apple pies and sometimes other types of pies or what have you, but I mentioned how a person could end up going to the store and buying some other type of fruit or some type of ingredient that made your apple pie the best that it really was, but they still took it upon themselves that they was going to do something else for you in this way or what have you. But come to find out, just that change that they made, just by them even ignoring this or that, or say, well, I bought you oranges instead of apples. You see what I'm saying? But the whole point is this. It was still like, well, no, we're not on the same sheet of music here. We're not on the same page. If I tell you to get me this, then you get me this. You don't sit up there and put me into this prolonged, you need to learn something in this way or that way or what have you, because then it's like I'm turning into your own personal career student instead of just, again, allowing me with the grace, the honor, that headship I like to use, the will that God has placed in us to allow me to just act upon what I have. And then you never know what may happen in the future. And that's the case when I tell you about your core group of people that you may have around you. Yes, whoever you have around you, they got to respect that. They got to respect it, you see, or you're going to be having a lot of problems. Sometimes you're going to be shortchanged and you shouldn't be. You won't get your flowers. You won't, you see, and all those things, as I tell you, as human beings, uh, you and I, we deserve. We deserve those things. You see what I'm talking about? We deserve them. And I told you when it comes to being on the same sheet of music or page, in times past when I run into people who thought differently and were so busy always um, motivated by their creed or what have you, the focus on human beings constantly being in lack, then hey, I'm just telling you, no, you're just not my type of person to be around, you see? And you can't say anything is wrong with that. But I probably could go into a lot of reasons to talk about their philosophy on life is why it's so difficult and challenging on others. I do believe human beings in time will still turn into the most wonderful, perfect human beings. And it won't be because of a lot of hardship and pretty harsh stuff placed on them to so-called make their mind or brain act right, so to speak. I truly believe that. So have a very wonderful day and take care of yourself.